cart and some, I don't know, rad rotted
pizza.
Those are some screws, that's Jenny's face.
Hey, this is Simone. This is the first night that Lily, Jenny, and I met, and we are meeting at my house. So the place that you see right now is my house. None of us had eaten yet, so we had dinner, and as we were eating dinner, we planned out some of the things we were going to do, and we talked about what we were going to do. Here you can see our first planning stage. We were deciding what mechanism we wanted to use for our cart. Originally, on my plan, I had a rubber band mechanism, but Lily suggested that we do a piston drive, which ultimately we found was the best driving mechanism, so we ended up using a piston drive. And here you can see our final design, which we made a quick sketch of. Here we actually started designing our cart, and here you can see Lily sketching out the lines that we are going to cut momentarily.
This is Professor Evans. He's cutting the wood with the table saw to the measurements of our cart, and then we will sand it.
Cut very nicely and precisely by Simone's dad, whose name is?
Brad.
Brad.
Perfect.
Yay.
Here we are measuring out the dowels for the cart.
This is Simone. He's drilling holes for the eye screws that he will insert into the cart, which is now just a piece of wood.
Here, Jenny and I attempted to screw in the eye hooks, but they didn't fit, so we had to make the holes bigger. The holes are now bigger, and the eye hooks now fit.
Here you can see that the 1/2 dowel fits into the eye hooks.
All 4 eye hooks have been attached. Here we had some technical difficulties with the camera, so a lot of our stuff was deleted or unable to get onto the computer. So from now until a bit later, we're just going to have voiceovers and pictures. After threading the dowels on the eye hooks, we drilled guide holes into the ends of the dowels.
We then drilled the screws through the wheels, which are the peanut butter lids, and into the guide holes on the dowel. This served to keep the wheels on the cart and allow the cart to move.
We also made both a starting string and a test starting hole. Finally, we attached the rubber band used to propel the cart.
Here you can see our final cart without the scoring mechanism. And you can see us practicing with it and getting it to launch. And we actually get it to launch quite a couple times, and it launches pretty far. So it works out, and next we will be adding the scoring mechanism.
Quite a couple.
We're all here, 3 of us, 3 people.
So here Simone is trying to put in another eye screw. We needed a guide for the dowel so it wouldn't move from side to side when we were using it for the propulsion system. Here we figured out that the second eye screw or the third eye screw didn't work because with the rubber bands around the dowel it didn't fit in the hole and it didn't go as far.
Ultimately, we just scrapped the whole idea.
We attached duct tape to the axles to keep the axles centered so that the wheels wouldn't shimmy as much.
Because our eye screw system didn't work, we instead added guides on the back with foam board and screws.
Here we are planning the scoring mechanism for the cart. We used a couple of hinges and some foam board to create a movable scoring board.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm Ms. Emmer. Lily's in Oklahoma. She's in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's lame. It's lame.
Kind of lame.
She ditched us. She ditched us for her family.
Jenny found an X-Acto knife, and she cut out the board that we would then attach to the cart using hinges, which would be our scoring mechanism, which you can see here.
Here Simone is cutting the dowel for the ring scoring mechanism.
To make transporting the cart easier, we just velcroed the pieces of our scoring mechanism onto the foam board.
After looking at the schematics of the hill, we realized we placed the dowel in the wrong spot, so Simone is now replacing it.
With Lily's suggestion, we decided to use a water bottle for the eraser cap scoring mechanism, and here you can see Jenny preparing this for the cart.
We also used Velcro to attach the eraser scoring mechanism to the scoring board.
And here is the finished scoring mechanism part of the cart. Everything is attached and it's ready to score. Here's where we're trying to get the cart to move, and it doesn't move very far on the concrete, but once we get to the hill, it moves a lot more smoothly and it is able to get up the hill.
Hey, Miss Auber. Hey, so it's just me today because both Jenny and Lily are off on vacation for President's Weekend. Jenny and I realized we still have just like a tiny bit to do. Really, I think the main problem is right now, it's kind of too heavy. So what we need to do is just take off some of the weight, and also it's not really aerodynamic anymore. So we just need to take off some of the weight from this by like cutting it so air can get through, which should allow it to go a bit faster because it won't have so much air resistance.
Here you can see the cut that was made in the scoring board to make the cart more aerodynamic, and it did help it move quite a bit.
We're also going to add rubber bands to the wheels to provide more friction.
Why?
To provide more friction.
More friction.
So right now Simone is making more holes into the main frame of our cart so he can add 2 more guides for the dowel.
Final test!
First round we got a bye, and there are 2 teams that got a bye. We were one of those teams. The next round, our cart scored, and we scored all 3 erasers, but the other team also had the exact same score, so we went again, and we scored 2 erasers, and then the other one didn't make it, and the other team scored their 2 erasers, and 1 didn't make it, but they won because their cart stayed at the top of the hill, and ours went back down, so they won on distance. And then after that, we were put into the losers bracket. We played 1 round, and the other team scored more points than us, but we did score. So since we scored every round, well, that was fine, and we got all the points. It worked like we wanted it to. The propulsion system worked great.
It didn't
and it scored every time. Yeah, it was perfect, because there were some people's carts that didn't even move at all. Like they moved no rounds. So yay!
What do you think that we should have done to do better? Like if we could go one more time, what would we change?
To score more points.
Yeah, the only thing would be to add more
Stuff.
Yeah, add more mechanisms for the possibility of scoring more.
We could have tried the rings.
Because, like I said, our cart worked perfectly like we wanted it to. It's just other teams scored more points. So if we wanted to win, we just needed to put things on our cart that would allow us to score more points.
Well, the thing about our cart was we could only score a maximum of 3 points per round.
Yeah, so that was fine though.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.